Hey, what's up? Kalen here. In this video I wanted to answer a question that I saw online, which was if I build a Magento extension, or it could be any kind of an extension, but if I build an extension and there's a security vulnerability in that extension and the person, the customer using it gets hacked, am I legally liable? Or could I get sued, that kind of a thing. So first of all, big disclaimer, I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. I'm just speaking from my own experience, having thought about this issue actually a good bit, and just kind of sharing my experience. But you'd have to ask a lawyer and all that kind of stuff. And so with MageMail, the email marketing extension that I built, this is something that I thought about a lot as I started to get more and more customers. I was like, dang, what if I get, if something goes south with this? And I actually had a buddy point out a couple of significant security flaws in the extension, which was super, super helpful. And then I had one person tell me, they were pretty friendly, but they wanted to be paid. They were like, I found something and I'd like to be paid. So I think I paid them not a lot of money, but they told me about it and it was super helpful. So anyways, surrounding yourself with people that can help you with that is generally a good thing. And getting into a bug bounty program can be good too. But so at the end of the day, anybody can sue anybody for anything, right? So I'm relatively sure that you can put something in your terms, because I've seen it in other think about open source extensions where it's like, hey, use this at your own risk. We're not guaranteeing anything. I'm pretty sure you can put something in your terms that says something to that effect. You're using this at your own risk. We're not responsible for anything, blah, 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 blah. And so, look into that. You probably want to have that in your terms. But at the end of the day, if somebody is upset enough with you, or they feel like, they got screwed and they're looking for somebody to blame, and if they have the resources to sue you, they can sue you. And that, whether or not you're technically responsible or not, doesn't really matter a whole lot. It's going to make your life pretty difficult. Never been sued, thank God, knock on wood. But that's going to make your life, very difficult, and it'll be very expensive for you to just to defend it. Just literally to defend what they're bringing, even if it's like not even justified, which is why the legal system is kind of horrible. So I think that you want to just try, like that was one of the reasons with MageMail why I wanted to have a relatively small number of customers. I probably had 300 or 400, and I didn't want to have 10 times as many customers and things like that, because I thought, man, there's going to be a whack job in there somewhere, and it only takes that one whack job to make your life pretty difficult. So as a solo founder, that was one of the things. I don't know if that was the smartest approach. Probably wasn't the smartest approach to thinking about the business risks and how to mitigate them, but that was one of the ways I approached it. Also with my connector, the connector extension, usually when you have a SaaS product, your connector extension is open source. You put it on GitHub, you just make it easy for people to access. But I avoided doing that because I was like, what if there is a security flaw, and if it's too open out there, people can see it. And so I put it behind, you had to log in and put a credit card down before you could download the extension. Now again, I don't know if that was the smartest move either, because you can make the argument putting it out in the open. I already told you I had 2 people come and help me. So it's kind of like, are there more good people in the world or bad people? But in my experience, I had 2 people help me. So it might have been that putting it out there on GitHub would have actually been better from a security perspective, because issues would have been surfaced. But that was my thinking on it, and one of the ways that I wanted to mitigate risk around that. I was also worried about, because it was an email marketing thing, and there's certain laws in certain countries that I even heard somebody in Germany got fined for sending double opt-in email marketing, which is supposed to be the 100% cleanest type of marketing. And you know, the stuff that MageMail did, you were emailing people that had ordered or had abandoned a cart or something, but they hadn't always opted in. So I was a little worried about, when you look at the laws, there's sort of gray areas. I was a little bit worried about that too. That's not a security issue, but that's another type of, you know, potential legal risk. So I at one point got an insurance policy. I got like an errors and omissions policy. And the funny thing about that is that nobody will tell you for sure if it's, you know, gonna cover what you want it to cover. Like, you're buying it for peace of mind, you know, that's why you buy insurance. But the funny thing about insurance is you don't ever get peace of, like, nobody tells you exactly, will it cover this, will it cover that. Certain things are carved out. You know, like breaking spamming laws is obviously not covered by the insurance policy. But I said, no, I'm not breaking spamming laws, but these are like things that could be gray areas in certain places. Is that covered? And then nobody gives you straight answers. So, there's certain types of insurance that are more established in certain industries. So, for example, if you are a subcontractor working for a larger company, just doing consulting work, a lot of times they'll require you to have a certain policy. They'll require $1 million, $2 million liability policy, and that's just become a standard practice. So a lot of people do it, whereas the extension thing, that's a little bit of a different scenario. You're not consulting, but there could be similar dynamics involved. So in some cases you might say, hey, let me just get a policy. It'll cost me $100 a month, $200 a month, and take care of it. And one of the things I had been looking for around this, never really found, was there are some cool, I think there's one called withjack or .co.uk or something like that, but there's some cool insurance agents that focus in the tech space and stuff like that. And I wanted to find somebody that I could really dig into these things with specifically and understand really well. I never really did, but that's another approach to it. You know, you've got legal side and then insurance side are ways to kind of mitigate risk around this whole topic. But so you want to have that in your terms, that you're not responsible, and then you want to try to avoid, you know, crazy people, right? To me, that's almost the most important thing, is pick the people you do business with well. When you're selling an extension, obviously you want to sell to as many people as possible, but I say I'd rather go higher price point, lower volume of customers, because you're going to be dealing with better customers in general, more sophisticated, less of these types of potential issues. So I think that's always a big factor. I've never had a charge disputed. Hundreds of MageMail customers, thousands of charges with Commerce Hero. I got very close to getting a charge disputed. Of course, it was like the smallest project. It was a super small project. And the customer was like, I'm going to dispute this charge. And I was like, oh man, my first dispute. I was so sad about it. And then I said, it says right here that it's not refundable, and they did the work, and then they never ended up doing it. So I was like, yes, my record is intact. So yeah, getting disputes, you know, legally, these are all types of things that come up when you know, you deal with, you know, customers that are a little wacky. There's a lot of crazy people out there, right? And so again, you know, if regardless of what you have in place from a legal, insurance, all that perspective, if you get in bed with somebody that's a little wacky, there's a lot of stuff they can do. So that's just something to, you know, that's one of the reasons with Commerce Hero, we started increasing the minimum project threshold, you know, to like $1,000 a month, because the smaller projects, like I really want to help, I want to be able to help those smaller merchants to find developers that are affordable, but we're having issues with the lower price point. And it's not even so much that we're not making a ton of money on it, it's just that, you know, the hassles and the potential dispute that almost came up, things like that. So we put those things in place. So hope that's helpful. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Post a comment, and thanks so much for watching.